What is up? Saturday edition of the Lambgoat Vanflip podcast show. Obviously, you're not listening to it on a Saturday or watching it on a Saturday, but we're recording one on a Saturday, which is the first time we've done that probably in a year and a half. And I'd like to welcome to the show Salem, who is a member of Bloodbather, who is a Fort Lauderdale based or South Florida based. I call it metalcore, nu-metalcore. I know you guys labeled it as deathcore on the Facebook and Spotify and everything like that. But it definitely overall sound, I think, this is a personal opinion of mine because I'm probably much older than you are in general, unfortunately. But I feel like you guys and another band that's similar to what you guys are kind of doing, See You Space Cowboy. Yep. You guys definitely have a lot of influences from what I would consider the golden era of like metalcore and the hardcore scene for the most part, because I'm an old man, obviously. So like early 2000s metalcore, definitely a lot of panic chords, as we like to call them in the business. And it's just like a very good nod to that time in music. So again, like we previously talked prior to hopping on this podcast, if you haven't figured out at this particular point, the podcast obviously does interview big bands like Lamb of God and Napalm Death and all these other huge bands, but that is also to kind of get an audience so you can but you can find smaller up and coming bands. So that's why we kind of try to throw all these bands at you that you may not know, but this is a prime example of us doing that. As far as my research has gone, you're only like a handful of years as a band, right? You guys aren't too old, and you're very kind of new in the last, 2-3 years?
Yeah, so we started probably around 2016, and it was like mostly a joke. So most of the stuff from our earlier era is completely gone. You know what I mean? So it looks like we just started. So that was on purpose.
Okay. Well, because like if you look up on Spotify or anything like that, you've got I think, what is it, 5 or 6 tunes altogether, and that's including the new. You guys just released a small EP.
Yeah. Well, it's like, so our EP's coming out in I guess like 2 weeks, the 9th. And 9th of October, I'll be specific. But the 3 songs that we have now are off the EP, and it's a 6-song EP. But it looks like a mini EP right now. I don't really know how Spotify works, but it made it look like a little EP. But yeah, we have that little EP, and then we have our Pressure EP from 2018.
That's cool. And how did you guys like get together? You said it was like you just kind of mentioned it was a joke. So
yeah. So it was me and our old vocalist, who's like my best friend, and
that's
we
Jeff,
both,
right?
Yeah. So we're in 2 other bands that I'm not even gonna. They're awful, and we were just like, yo, let's do something that we actually like, like passion project stuff. At the time, we were really into like 18 Visions and Martyr AD and a bunch of bands like that, and we're like, fuck it, like let's just make a band that's like worship to that, and like On Broken Wings.
Wow,
so
nice.
we started this band, and then it was really just a supplementation to my other band, so we could tour, so we can make enough money to like stay on the road, because obviously making guarantees is hard enough. So then it just started overlapping the other band and just getting way bigger than the other band, and then I guess it just took off somehow. I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah. And what kind of, you don't have to name the names, but like what styles were your other bands were they very different than what Bloodbather is?
Yeah. So Jeff's band, I'm not even that shit was awful. That shit was like traitor sounding music. And then my old band was like Sworn in Worship. And then it became like, Bring Me the Horizon sounding, I guess. I don't even know. Definitely not good.
Hey, what's up? It's LURK. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Vanflip podcast. If you're liking this content, why don't you go ahead and give us a like? Maybe consider subscribing. And if you subscribe, hit that alert bell so you're notified when new episodes or Lambgoat content is uploaded. Don't forget to check out us or our guests on social media. And if you want to check out Lambgoat's Spotify playlist, all those links are in the description below. All right, sorry about that. Enjoy the rest of this episode. Interesting. Well, you kind of named a couple bands that are from the heyday that we recently spoke. On Broken Wings is something that doesn't really necessarily get brought up a lot, but they weren't really. I don't, and I'm not going to try to talk down about it, but to me they were a very influential band that probably didn't get a lot of like love from everybody. But
Yeah,
I think as the scene grew, more people found out about them, but they were already not doing as much as they were back in the day.
they're fucking sick. I feel like a lot of bands are like that nowadays, where people, I guess like my generation, we look back on like all these crazy bands from back in the day, early 2000s, and we start liking them more than the people that listened to them back in the day liked them. So now you're seeing them like reunions and shit, and everybody's going crazy and shit, and these bands are probably like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really understand why 20 years later you still fuck with this, but okay.
And it's a whole different group of people that are fucking with it.
Yeah, exactly. And but I think all that shit is sick. I think back in the day, it was just I don't know, it was just fucking fun, you know?
And this is a weird conversation that I'm having with you right now because I had the conversation literally last night with JP, who does the video work for the most part when we have in person, not pandemic interviews, but
Yeah.
he is a camera guy for us. We had a conversation last night, and I was like, dude, I just don't know what it is, but and again, could be me just being an elder, but I was like, I feel like quote unquote metalcore is just kind of like weak. There are definitely like the current state of it, but there's definitely like bands that do release good albums, like even new bands like Polaris had a good album earlier this year and everything like that. But then if we're being honest, bands that I actually do love, like August Burns Red, I wasn't feeling that release this year. And there's a lot of there and I'm probably gonna get shit for this too, but there's a lot of confusion as to like what metalcore is. Whereas like I grew up thinking it was one thing, and then now there's bands like I don't even want to say it, but like the Amity Affliction and other things
Yeah.
that are like that, to where there's a lot of clean vocals.
Singing.
Yeah. And a lot of it sounds overproduced too in the studio and everything like that. But
Yeah.
there are bands that are killing it and doing, decent things for the genre for sure. But I just feel
Yeah.
like if you live on Twitter, people stand those bands that I just can't stand. And
Yeah,
it's
no.
rough.
I separate it. There's like Warped Tour bands, and then that's literally how you just call it. It's just like there's the Warped Tour bands, and then there's like the other bands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously worlds collide sometimes. Like Knock Loose was on Warped Tour.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call them a Warped Tour band. I think they do exactly what they want to do, and it sounds appropriate to their times. But I mean, I don't really like most. I like when I was a kid. Obviously, I loved Warped Tour bands. Like that shit is, and I still like those bands, and I still listen to those records. Like Stand Up and Scream. I don't give a fuck. That shit is sick. You know what I mean? Like, I love I Set My Friends on Fire and like fucking.
Well, that
Just
I don't even consider that like that's not even like a metalcore band. Like that band particularly is just that was so crazy when it came out. Even then,
Yeah, it's stupid. Like listening back, like all that shit is like it doesn't make any sense. Like how this even came to be. Like who the fuck told these bands that they should put like a microKORG fucking crazy thing with like electronica over crazy breakdowns? But a lot of that stuff, some of it aged well, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I listen to some of I Set My Friends on Fire songs, and I'm like, this is really good. Like this is not bad at all. And there's a lot of bands like that where it's like Amir's first record is fucking crazy still.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
there's-
they'll do. They did a couple.
yeah,
They did a couple.
yeah, no, I mean, I love Amir. But bands right now that I think are in the Warped Tour side that sound good, I think Motionless in White is cool. And I guess that's it. I don't really fucking know anybody else, to be honest.
Right. For those who are unaware that may be younger, I Set Myself on Fire, or I Set My Friends on Fire, or whatever the name was. That was
Yeah.
probably the earliest version of meme music I could
Yeah.
think about. Like, you probably don't get 100 gecs without that band.
No,
you know?
no, 100%. And the funniest thing is because Matt, the guy, well, that band is from here. They're from Miami,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 30 minutes south. But I was chilling with Matt because we were going to a rap show because I produced for a rapper, blah, blah, blah. So I was chilling with him, and we were talking like you kind of owe a lot of sounds that we have now, like a lot of MySpace bands, to what rap we have now, which is like trap infused rock, basically. That's
Yeah.
all it is. And you can nod your head kind of towards, maybe not I Saw My Friends on Fire, because they don't sound exactly like fucking Lil Uzi Vert or something like that. But there is a level of crossover that they kind of took that first step of like getting shit of like, why the fuck are you doing this, to get where we are now, which is like almost all like rap music is now like weird fucking scene. It's
Yeah.
almost like scene now. It's
Yeah.
very weird. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, the youth culture in hip hop is definitely reminiscent of like early scene days of like tight pants, tight shirts,
It's fucking insane. Like
little
it's literally just
armband,
like
a lot of armbands,
every single fucking half black, half white kid, every light skinned kid is just trying to be fucking Panic at the Disco. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how they, like you said, everything bled into each other. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there was a lot of like rap. God, dude, I remember how heavy the rap influence was when I was like in that, like when I was in a band in early 2004, 2005. Like, I,
Like rap metal.
yeah, I also grew up on like Limp Bizkit, obviously, because like I told you earlier, I'm from the North, Florida, so like that was the biggest thing around here when I was like in high school, and so I've always grown up liking both genres, but I always I always said that when we were like playing shows and shit and just being at shows, I was like, this is basically like there's hip hop and hardcore are so the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy, that that's what I kind of associated the two. But like I wanted like gold teeth and shit like that when I was on stage, and it was it just seemed like they fit. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, to be honest. Like rap shows are fucking crazy. Why the fuck is my dog barking? Whatever. Rap shows are fucking crazy. Like people go absolutely crazy there, and it's like stage diving, moshing. I mean, the moshing is fucking awful, but it's still moshing. You know what I mean? But it's at the same level. Like, it's one and the same. Like I feel like I could play a Bloodbather show, and then a fucking rapper could play right after, and it's not even. A lot of rap kids also get a lot of shit, but they're super open-minded. Like they're down with everything, and they think everything is cool too. Like they don't have that judgmental side that honestly the hardcore, I guess, side has, where I guess hardcore kids kind of judge people more. But rap kids, they're like open to fucking everything, and it's kind of sick. So
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind playing like a fucking rap show or chilling with rap kids, because every time I show them anything that I do, they're like, "This is fucking sick. You're fucking crazy. Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Well, the times are definitely different too. Like the gatekeeping has definitely kind of been laid to the wayside for the most part. I feel like the younger generation is, like you said, more open in general. That shit was definitely not like that when I was when I was growing up.
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Yeah, you couldn't, like Taking Back Sunday. No way, I don't listen to that. But in reality, it's on my iPod and I'm jamming
Oh,
out.
fuck yeah.
So, there's certain things that you had to seem tough, with it.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like people are now kind of I don't know, maybe it's just me and my friends, but like we don't give a fuck. Like I openly listen to funny things. Like I'm wearing this hilarious I Declare a War hoodie that says like something blast beat fuck or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what the fuck it says on the back. But like obviously I'm wearing it half as a joke, like almost like me, like when I wear like a gangster SpongeBob shirt, like the fucking
yeah.
2XL fucking flea market shirts. It's like the same concept. But if we're being real, like the fucking Malevolence I Declare a War album, and then the one before that, like a Miss the Bloodshed or whatever, like that shit is fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like I think people just don't really care anymore. Like they're just like, whatever, it's fucking sick, so fuck
Yeah.
you.
And I like that because again, I didn't realize how stifled I was back in the day until I stopped claiming that I like Limp Bizkit for a long time, and they were one of my favorite bands growing up. And so now I'm like buying shirts off Depop, repping the shit out of it. I'm talking
Dude,
about it all the
fuck
time on this
it.
podcast. It's crazy.
Like literally like wearing. I mean, culture has just changed though. Like feel like bullying is like, well, there's still bullying on Twitter. It's just a new
Yeah.
dimension of I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like PC bullying. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But like even in school, like when I was in school, I would get made fun of, and I don't even think that happens anymore. Like I don't even think that is a thing. Because I was talking to like some of my younger friends that are just going to shows and stuff, and they talk about like how high school is now, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like within like 4 years, completely changed.
Yeah, well, that's good too. That's it's a plus.
To an extent, I mean, I think bullying builds character. Maybe I don't know if that's a
There
fucking
is
controversial
yeah, we're
opinion.
probably gonna get some shit for this, but I kind of somewhat
Whatever.
agree. I kind of somewhat agree that it does build character, at least in a way
Yeah.
that like it teaches you to at some point stand up for yourself and do that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I also understand that some people don't have that in them to do, so life can be
Yeah. So it's
difficult.
just that just fucking breaks them.
But I was picked on in high school, not high school, but in school as well. So like I grew in that was my norm. So I feel
Yeah.
like everyone should be able to not be bullied, but get through it or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it is
'Cause I
shitty
don't
in
know.
general.
It makes you not a bitch, to be honest. Honestly, it just makes you like it makes you like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Hopefully it does. I mean, hopefully it fucking translates.
And usually it's the kids who are more interesting, like not the regular jock kind of guy or not the
But
regular fucking dude.
I don't know if that's like a. I feel like that's such a movie thing, like the whole
Yeah.
jock thing, like the fucking jock calling like the fucking little kid like, ah, you're gay or whatever the fuck. Like I don't know. I didn't really. I mean, obviously I got called fucking gay and faggot and shit, but um, I don't. I don't think that's like a thing anymore. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? I think that like changed.
I probably should have said like the popular guy, not like the jock. But
Yeah, the popular
usually in movies, the jock is the popular guy, so that's why the correlation is so close.
Yeah,
But I get
but
that.
yeah, no, definitely popular kids fucking saying crazy shit.
So let's kind of go back a little bit here. So how would you describe the sound of like Bloodbather, and has it changed? Like you obviously said, it was like kind of a jokey situation in the beginning. So like, how has it changed to now?
Um, well, okay, so basically we had the Pressure album, and that was written by just me, like instrumentally, and then Jeff would do vocals. And then we went through just like some member changes, and then we got Kyler, and he used to be in a band called A Needle Under the Nail, which is a super fucking sick band that me and Jeff really liked. He joined on bass, and then when he joined, we started writing this new Silence EP, and that's when it's like obviously started becoming serious. Like we got signed, we were playing like we played like Warped Tour, we played bigger shows. We did like a little tour with Attila, so it was starting to become like, oh, we need to kind of take this seriously to an extent. And I kind of forgot the question.
Describe the sound of Bloodbather
Okay,
and how
describe the
it's
sound.
changed. How it's changed over
Okay,
the short period of
so
time.
in the beginning, it was more, I guess, like on Broken Wings sounding, and now I feel like it's more. We take a lot of influence from like the Goodbye to the Gallows album. Honestly, a little bit of Thy Art Is Murder, that first EP, and stuff like The Secret. I guess little things of like Martyr AD and bands like that still.
Hmm.
But I think that's like the sound now. It's like metalcore mixed with some deathcore. The deathcore thing, honestly, is a little bit of a joke, just because people in the hardcore community, to an extent, would call us like deathcore. They'd be like, "Oh, they're fucking deathcore." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's almost like a diss. Like they're like, "Oh, they're fucking deathcore," and it's like, whatever. Yeah, we're fucking deathcore. So I just put deathcore. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It was half a joke, but honestly, like I think we're gonna become a deathcore band. Like
yeah,
I don't mind. Like I really like deathcore, so I don't mind. I'm not good enough at guitar, so I have to practice. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
dude, these bands are fucking crazy. Like I'd be trying to learn some fucking Diar's Murder songs off that first EP, and I'm like, dude, fuck. Like this is not easy at all.
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe. Uh,
Yeah. So when I get good at guitar, we'll become a deathcore band.
yeah, because I was gonna say I don't really necessarily think that you guys are a deathcore band. I would call it more.
No.
I'd call it more of a new metalcore band.
Yeah,
Like
I don't.
it's got
It's
like
like
some
it's
different
metal.
vibes.
It's just breakdowns. Like it's just that's how I claim it as deathcore because it's just fucking breakdowns.
Hmm. Jeff said we should talk about breakdowns, but he wasn't clear. He didn't clarify if we should talk about Bloodbather breakdowns or just breakdowns in general. Because I mean, I could talk about breakdowns in general.
We could talk about breakdowns. I love breakdowns.
What are some of your favorite ones then?
Okay, fuck. Okay. Obviously, like American Hollow, Martyr AD, Broken Mouth, Martyr AD, 18 Visions, obviously, fucking Tower of Snakes.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
That's like that's like the metal, and then you could like Starscream, fucking On Broken Wing. It's like, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just listening to that fucking yesterday. It's such a good song.
Yeah. That clap was, dude. The breakdown. I mean, that wasn't my favorite OBW breakdown. I did my crosswords and pin, and I don't even.
Yeah. Or listless.
Yeah, but the Starscream breakdown was just so fun because of the hand claps.
Dude, it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
All right, so what else? Let's see. Fuck. I'm trying to think. What are some of my favorite breakdowns? Fuck. I don't know if I want to name that.
Ooh.
Okay, dude. Honestly, My Damnation by Chelsea Grin. The entire song is so fucking good.
Okay.
All right, whatever. I don't care. I'll name that one. Let me think. Fuck. I'm blanking now.
It's okay. Like, as I asked you that question, I was like, all right, think of some that in case he asks you what you would say, and I've completely pulled a blank.
What were your favorite breakdowns?
I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head because I mean, most of these would probably be for nostalgia's sake because, you know, I've listened to them for so damn long. They would be older bands.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. There's a couple on Parkway Drive's "Killing in the Name" or "Killing with a Smile" that I love. Autodidact by Between the Buried and Me. They have a really fucking cool breakdown in that song, and it's the thing that really draws me to it is they have a section which is kind of like a break before the breakdown, and it's just one note but on every other instrument, and the bass has like an open string strum chord that
shit is so fucking sick.
Yeah, so that's a really good one that stands out to me. But yeah, dude, it's a blank. I'm drawing a blank because I listen to so much new shit too that I don't get to listen to a lot of, and I couldn't tell you what songs are which because I listen to everything streaming and just on my phone.
Honestly, like, I can't even name some of like just almost all of my favorite deathcore bands. I can't even name a breakdown because the album is just all good. But like, Now You're Going to Be Famous by I Declare War, like the end where he's like, say fuck you or whatever the fuck he says. I love breakdowns that are just, they have like a weird call out before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just like, get on your knees, motherfucker, or whatever the fuck they say. That shit is so fucking funny.
Yeah, you can say anything.
But it's raw, to be honest. Like, it's fucking sick. Like,
you can definitely say anything right before a breakdown and everyone's gonna lose their shit.
Fucking that 10 Signs You Should Leave or whatever by Amir.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and the lyrics are so fucking
the drug dealer girlfriend, or the whichever is it,
whatever.
Yeah, the drug dealer girlfriend song, that's a good one too. Solar Flare Homicide has a pretty good fucking breakdown in it.
Dude, the weird dubstep shit, it's so fucking sick. That shit is sick, honestly. And fucking, like, I don't know, we could go on forever about breakdowns, honestly. We probably should stop.
Yeah, because we're not really doing justice for any of the ones we actually like because we can't remember them right now.
Yeah, we're just calling out the fun ones.
Yeah. We're gonna, after this, I'm probably gonna be like, oh fuck, I should have said this and 18 other songs.
I already know. I already know that there's some that I'm forgetting that would make me look cooler, like, oh, this one band.
So you mentioned Tower of Snakes, so I'm interested in understanding what version of 18 Visions do you most like? Do you most like the albums
is it
before?
Obsession? Is Obsession the album with the heart?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that shit. Because it's kind of, it's not like marketable, but I like it's like mature, but their older stuff is crazy. I mean, I'm not really versed on their older stuff. Jeff was the one that was really into their older stuff, and he would just link me. Like, literally, our group chat would just be like us linking each other like breakdowns. Like, it would literally just be like some random band their first release, and we're just like 236. Let's steal this.
Yeah.
Let's take this
Yeah.
breakdown. So he likes their older stuff, but Obsession was one of my favorite ones. I liked it. I think it's a catchy album.
Yeah, Obsession definitely grew on me, and that again, probably I grew up with like the Ink Runs Out and Vanity and everything like that.
Okay.
Their earlier shit, and then when
Yeah, yeah.
Obsession came out, that was like an MTV2 time where like a lot of those, not just 18 Visions, but MTV was bringing a bunch of that style music to
On.
TV and everything, and
I was right at the cuff of, so like I had a MySpace. I would watch music videos on MTV, but I was on the end
right.
where it like started to roll off. So I know what like kind of MTV too.
Yeah, so
Fucking
they're
dog.
yeah. They so they kind of went through this weird transition of after that to like, and I hate to say this because I like James, I like the band and everything like that, but the release after that was kind of like Papa Roach-ish a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they definitely kind of started going back to their roots with the album a couple years ago, and it sounds like now they've gone even further back to their roots in the last couple songs they've released because they're going to come out with an EP or an album. And James is actually going to be on the podcast hopefully here in a week or two. So,
Their new song was pretty fucking good, honestly.
oh
I
yeah,
actually like. I think people slept on that because when it dropped, nobody was posting that shit, and I was like,
well
"Yo,
we
this
premiered
is
it. We
okay."
we premiered the song, but yeah, and again, I think that probably has to do with just the way the band went. You know, I mean, I don't know if a lot of the OG fans kind of kept up with what the band was doing because again, they were off, doing their own things, not in music.
Yeah,
For a number of years too, so it is what it is. But I do think that they're going to come back a lot more like, not even Obsession, like even earlier than that, it'd be like more Vanity and Till the Ink Runs Out type
I,
stuff.
I,
But
I think these bands, because there's a lot of bands that are coming back like 10 years later, and they're like, "Okay,
yeah,
you guys like this now? Like, what the fuck?" So
it's hard.
I think you're gonna see a lot of bands that you like, any type of band that sounded heavy and then lost their heaviness is gonna kind of come back to the older sound because now they know like, oh well, now I could do this again. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, I feel like bands thought that they couldn't do what they wanted to do, which is obviously, I guess it was the case. Like bands would have to switch up to appeal to a younger crowd and have clean courses and stuff.
Or just
But
to sell records in general to keep the label
yeah,
happy.
exactly. But now I feel like if anything, like the less heavy you are, the least people will like you almost. Like
Yeah,
people just want, I don't know, maybe it's because rap is like basically fucking breakdowns.
yeah,
But everybody just likes fucking heavy shit now. So it's,
yeah. All
I
the
mean,
bass.
the biggest band right now I could think of is fucking like Knock Loose, and they're just breakdowns.
Yeah, that's another band that I really do enjoy, and that's another one of the, I don't even want to call them metalcore because I just think there's such a hodgepodge of all sorts of heavy shit thrown together, but they
Yep.
are one of the newer bands that definitely are moving in the right direction. And for someone like me who grew up on, I'm an older guy, so like that band sticks out to me because that is something that's like not the norm right now, and they are so
Yeah.
popular. Not even with just dudes. I see like they have like a female following too that's like insane. So
Yeah, that's, I don't even know, man. That shit is crazy. But they're definitely like one of the, I mean, if you just look at that last tour, just like the videos, I'm just like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like you were sincerely playing like concerts. Like that wasn't even like a show. That was like a fucking
yeah,
concert. You know what I mean? Like mad like ticket stub fucking concert. Like
yeah.
that shit was like 3,000 people. So,
They played here last year with like Varials and
okay.
a bunch of other people like, or I don't even fucking know. They didn't play with Varials. They played another show, but I was like, damn, dude. Leading up to that show, I was like, that shit's gonna be, and that would have been my first time seeing them live in
Hmm.
person, and I was just like, that show's gonna be fucking crazy, and it was obviously.
Yeah.
And then I
Their
saw,
shows are fucking insane.
yeah, I actually got to see them right outside of their hometown at Louder Than Life last year. That was one of the last things that we did before, concerts were fucking killed. But yeah, that was even crazier because again, they were like a home. It was like a home show for them almost, even though it was
Yeah.
like a big festival. So that's a cool. They're a cool band. One day, hopefully, Bry will drop his Lambgoat. He shunned Lambgoat, so we're not really gonna have him on the podcast. But hopefully, one day we can break that barrier and have him on and have a good time.
Whatever. Who cares?
It is what it
don't
is.
care.
I don't have anything against him because I love, I like him and I like the band, but it would be great to
I don't
bury
know.
that hatchet at some point.
The Lambgoat comments be getting to people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're aware, but we got
No,
rid of
they're
them.
gone
Yeah.
now. They're gone now.
Yeah.
But I was just talking because I was looking through the email with like our bassist or fill-in bassist or whatever, and we were just talking about how fucking funny the comment sections. Dude, people would oh my god, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like people, they were like, oh, like, wannabe like hood kids. The guitarist has a fucking Lexus, and it was just so fucking funny because I have like a 1997 fucking Lexus, like the oldest Lexus with like 250,000 fucking miles on it. The AC's broken. It's been hit, like it's fucked up. You know what I mean? And like just like comments like that are just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then they were like calling like just it was literally middle school. Like the comment section is just fucking middle school.
Oh yeah. They're grown ass men or grown ass people in general, just fucking acting a fool. And I get the allure behind it too, but then
no, it's fucking hilarious. But it's definitely it's so stupid.
It doesn't really translate well in today's society. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's what people want to say on Twitter and they can't. So they
because it's anonymous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no repercussion. But I and again, because when we got rid of them, that was a big thing for just the avid Lambgoat user, obviously. But yeah, I don't know, man. The internet's not this weird dark hole anymore. It's like everybody's on it, and not everybody would like say a new kid. Let's just call him a new teenager goes to Lambgoat, and he doesn't really understand.
No, they're gonna see
the culture. You know what I mean?
They're gonna see some words that might get them angry.
They're like, people still say those things, and they
well,
definitely do.
They're fucking old.
Yeah,
we're in a completely. I always say like I'm in a completely fucking different era than what these young kids are in, like a different fucking era than me.
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna sneeze. Jesus.
I do miss it, but again, it is what it is, and progress is progress.
Yeah.
Point,
no, I mean, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, because who knows, And again, the website's we're gonna launch a new website design and everything like that. So we wouldn't have been able to keep it anyway. But
okay,
there's a lot of
are the comments gone forever. Then they're not.
No. You can. Man, that's the other thing too. The comments would take up so much space because it was easily spammable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, we had fucking... I was looking. I was like, dude, we have the most comments on... I think we did. We had like fucking 300. It was insane. And most bands was just getting like fucking 50. You know what I mean? But we were getting fucking crazy. And I was like, dude, keep it up. This shit is fucking... And they were just all roasting us. So
of course,
I was... Yeah, but I was like fine with it. But there was some good ones. Like... I'm trying to remember.
Well, I can only imagine what they were.
No,
I haven't looked.
Hilarious.
I didn't look, but I can only imagine because you have people of different ethnicities in your group that it would be pretty wild and crazy in general.
wait. There what? Okay, so obviously there was that one article or whatever where Jeff was like calling out revenge season, and everybody in the comments was like, nah. He was right though. Like it. I don't know. Trusting white people, it kind of aged well. Yeah, nobody could flack him for that one. I'm holding him. He's fine for that. Like that shit was fine. But everybody in the comments fucking hated that. They're all like, I'm white. No. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. Just fucking...
Yeah, I'm willing to bet...
Don't say the N-word in a group chat.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet a high percentage of the visitors that go to Lambgoat in general or have been visiting Lambgoat for more than 5 years are definitely probably white in general. But that's a bold claim, but I'm okay with claiming that.
It's fine. I mean, the scene... That's like another thing we could like divulge into is like the scene is like mostly like white people. So it's like we're definitely... like literally at a certain point, it was me, Jeff, and Kyler, and we're all not white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm mixed with white. Kyler's mixed with white, but uh, like we're all niggas. So
Yeah, yeah.
it was like a weird mix, I guess. Like not many people are used to that, but it's like we're South Florida, so it's like
What's
that's
cool?
just how it is.
What is cool? I can probably say that it was definitely good lord when I was going to shows, and it was predominantly like probably 99%, white people in the crowd, or I wouldn't. I just want not black people in the crowd. There might have been like
Yeah,
another race or something like that there, but you
yeah,
didn't see a lot of black people at shows.
yeah.
And then I don't know what happened, but things started to change, and I started noticing it. Like there would be like one or two, and then there would be a little more, and I was like, that's kind of cool because I never understood. There's such a divide in general
Yeah.
when it comes to music, like even rock music. Like I can. I just felt weird, not felt weird, but I always thought it was weird that like I could listen to both rock and rap and enjoy both. It's just weird that back in the day, it didn't seem like, at least in my area up here, that black people could enjoy rock and rap music too. And so it was really
Yeah.
cool when you started seeing other people, other groups of ethnicities show up at shows. And then, like I remember Tosin from Animals as Leaders. He played in this really small band from Georgia called Reflux, and he came up and he was like the hardcore metal version of Jimi Hendrix. That kid was like slaying, and this was
Nah, he's fucking crazy.
yeah, and this
That
was
shit is.
way before Animals as Leaders, and so like
Yeah.
that blew my mind. You know what I mean? And then I guess what happens is people in different groups see people of their own group doing things, and then that maybe opens the door for them to go like, oh, okay, I can
Yeah,
get with
and
that.
that was like another thing that I was like one of the things that drove me is just it would be cool like when I was a kid I would look in like AP Mag or whatever any type of publication and anytime there was like any black person in a band it would be like fuck yeah like that like I wish that was me or whatever like Oceano or something like that
Hmm.
um and that was like a drive for me and like our old vocalist Jeff like it was just like cool to see that we could like represent our race in the mix of metal. You know what I mean? Because honestly, there was hardly any. But it is daunting because it's like people definitely maybe back in the day. I don't know. I can't speak for now because I didn't grow up now. I'm fucking 23.
Right.
But like when I first started going to shows, which was 2010. Yeah, like people would be like, they would just give you like the shit like oh like you could just see it within the realm of whenever people like compare a vocalist, they'd be like, oh, like he's like fucking Adam from Oceano. And it's like they don't look anything alike. Like they're just black. Like it's the only similarities they have.
Yeah.
And it would just be shit like that where it's just like oh, I bet you like Oceano or blah blah blah. And it's just like oh whatever, shut the fuck
They
up.
come to talk to you about any other band that has a black person in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I understand it. It's not like it's not even a racist thing. It's just like they're trying to relate to you. That's
Right.
literally it.
A connection of some sort.
Yeah, but obviously with time, it's like now it's not awkward anymore. Like, but South Florida always had such a mix of like race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like South Florida is a melting pot in general. So
For
I
sure. I mean,
mean,
I'm sure there's a lot of Spanish
yeah,
people that
yeah,
are in
no,
the
I
scene
mean,
too, and there's so many different types of Spanish people within the
yeah, yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like where I live is like a lot of Brazilian people. So like I guess like Portuguese speaking people. Then there's obviously Hispanic people speak Spanish. There's a lot of Haitian people that speak just straight up like Creole.
Hmm.
Like South Florida is a fucking complete melting pot of culture. So
It's
when I
not
was
even
growing,
really like it's not even really Florida. It's like a whole separate country down there.
yeah, yeah, no, really, it is like literally Miami and because I don't really claim the rest of Florida. No offense, I know you said you're in Florida.
Bro, I live in South Georgia, okay? Like I
Okay,
live
yeah,
in straight up
exactly.
South Georgia.
Like but like South Florida is completely different. Like Miami and Broward are, in my opinion, the only good parts about fucking Florida. But Miami and Broward are completely separate. Fucking, it's a different country than the rest of the country. Like it's
Yeah.
completely different. So I love that I grew up here. And when I went to shows, like even in fucking 2010, 2011, there was still like there was still black people. Like I wasn't the only black person. Like there was like probably like 3 or 4 other people that would regularly go to shows. And then there was like mostly Hispanic people. Like there was obviously white people, but there was mostly Hispanic people. Like I would say it was like maybe like 50% Hispanic people, 25% black people, or 25% white people, maybe like 5% black people. I don't know the rest of the fucking demographic. You could fill it in.
Right.
But it was predominantly people of color. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, that's it wasn't the same up here, obviously, but there's
Yeah,
not as much of a blend of groups of people in general.
Yeah, but it's cool to see now that there's such a mix, and bands now are just completely mixed with like even like girls.
Mm-hmm.
Just you see everything now, and I think it's just because like the people that first started to dive in kind of just were like, yeah, this is okay and this is cool, and fuck you if you don't like it, and then it just became normal. And now I feel like the best bands are the ones that have like people of color or black people, like
more diverse groups.
Yeah, like think about like Jesus Piece is like the fucking craziest fucking band.
Yeah, and they're like everything. They're like a melting
Dude,
pot.
they're fucking insane live. Like that shit is scary. Like
trying
honestly.
to get them on the podcast too. So if they're listening, shout them out and let's get them on.
Yeah, Aaron is the nicest fucking person. We've stayed at his house multiple times. He's fucking awesome, and he actually did like a Nike thing, like a Nike ad or something. Like what the fuck? That's so fucking sick. Because I know he's in nothing too.
Yeah, he's definitely a outspoken kind of guy, but in a good way.
Yeah, he's fucking sick.
So what's with the? Because people are watching this on the YouTube and they probably are seeing you for the first time. What's with the eyeball? Is it a glass eye contact or is it
I got struck in the face. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a Marilyn Manson callback,
Yeah, it's just one of those types of things. I didn't really want to put on makeup because honestly, I set an alarm for 2:30. I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, put on a contact. This is just. I mean, I always do a contact. It's obviously a callback to my. I'm not gonna fucking claim like I'm doing anything new. You know what I mean? And a lot of my style and a lot of my looks and stuff. A lot of people give me shit where they're like, "Oh, you think you're doing something like new and different?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm just doing what I want." But the contact is obviously a callback. But I like wearing contacts as well because I don't have like a lazy eye, but I feel like I don't know. In pictures, I always felt like I had a fucking lazy eye, so I never wear two. If you could look at me and I never wear like two of the same.
Right.
It's always like one different one. Even if I'm wearing two like colored type contacts or Halloween contacts, whatever you want to call them, special effects contacts. But I actually like the fact that it's like almost like wearing sunglasses on an eye. I don't know. It's like it's a weird thing, but
are they?
I don't know. I like looking different.
That's cool. I know. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Because I see a lot of pictures, and
always I dress like a fucking freak.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. But it's cool because it's like, dude, like, I've always been into like fashion and weird art and stuff like that, and in the future I'm gonna be releasing my own music, like industrial stuff. Like I hope to explode in that world too. But I think it's cool to fucking dress different and look different, and I think a lot of people like my band only because the fact, like literally I would say like my band got big just because me and Jeff were black and I wore dresses. Like I can openly say that. Like I could openly fucking say that, and I'm self-aware enough where I can realize like, yeah, that's probably why people started fucking with my band. But fuck it. Like, what are people gonna fucking dog on me that my band is bigger now because we fucking looked different? Like whatever. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because I definitely, when I was looking through everything, you shot a video or two with in a dress, and you were there was like a nod to the comments, and people are going to be hating on that, yada yada yada. Which of course it would.
The fucking comments, like, okay, there is one fucking comment, and this is me quoting someone else, so nobody fucking give me shit for it. We had one comment that was like, it was so fucking funny. It was like, I see they have a tranny on guitar, band, and then they're like, band still fucking sucks. And I was like, this is so I would just post all of the, because I think obviously it's terrible. You probably shouldn't fucking say that, but I don't take it. Maybe it's just because I grew up in our era or whatever. But like, I don't care. Like, I think that shit is because when people hate on me like that, I know that they care so much. You know what I mean? Like
They care enough to say something. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
who the fuck comments on a YouTube, like on a video, like unpositively, like who the fuck? I don't know
The only
anybody
people that
that's
comment in general usually are gonna comment negatively. Just like we were talking about Yelp reviews and shit, and how like
yeah,
you
it's
can't
like the
really go
same
by the
fucking
Yelp review because what kind of person is gonna go? You know what? I ordered from fucking China number one, and that shit was not like Chinese food at all. It's like no, bitch,
yeah.
that's like fast food, fucking Chinese. What do you
Yeah,
expect?
yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, dude, who the fuck comments on YouTube videos? Like, not really. And now someone's gonna fucking comment like, oh, "Fuck you, bro!" Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just like trying to engage.
Hey, that's cool. If they've
Um,
gotten into 40 something minutes of this podcast and they want to
yeah, yeah,
comment,
no, no,
go
no.
for it.
They're fuck yeah, whatever. You're cool. I'm giving you the pass to fucking comment and call me something. Um, but yeah, like the majority of people that comment on YouTube videos are probably just like haters or something. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
like
get triggered and they just fucking go at it, you know?
yeah, but honestly, like, yeah, looking different is cool. I mean, whatever. If you don't like me, suck my fucking dick. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's just my attitude. I've always had that attitude where it's like, if you think, oh, he's wearing a dress, oh, he's like some fucking mall goth, blah blah blah. Whatever, bro. I look cooler than you.
Just because I shop at Hot Topic doesn't mean I'm not a person too,
Yeah,
you know?
bro. Hot Topic. Honestly, I got a dress that I got not that long ago. It's like a Trip dress, I guess. Or a Trip inspired dress. I don't know if it's exactly Trip brand.
Trip
But
from
yeah, like
the
fucking
Marilyn
the
Manson.
Jinko, like the Jinko jean
Yeah, yeah.
brand, basically. Yeah, no, I got like a cool dress from Hot Topic like last year, and I don't know if you could see, there's lunch boxes up there. I don't know. I get some of those from fucking Hot Topic. I don't, dude. Who cares?
I mean,
Whatever.
I grew up going to Hot Topic, but I mean, it was a little
It was
different when I
different Hot
did.
Topic.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
but yeah, I definitely went to get CDs because that's the only that's the only store that I could get
it,
like scene CDs.
even Hot Topic now is fucking awful. It's like
Spencer's.
anime fucking culture
Yeah.
now. Which I like anime, but you know what I mean. It's like fucking weird T-shirts and
They're
shit.
like
and, like,
they're like a couple weeks away from selling dildos all the time.
no, no, no. That's their next thing.
Yeah.
But Hot Topic used to be like, at least when I was growing up. I mean, obviously you got picked on for being that kid or whatever and wearing the shirts and blah blah blah. Like, oh, nice Marilyn Manson shirt, and then they would shove you or something. But like, dude, honestly, it was sick.
You know that, right?
Dude, you know, he removed his own. Dude, that was a thing though. That was
Oh, yeah.
completely a thing in my middle school. I remember.
Same.
I fucking specifically remember going in 6th grade and just going to a lunch table, and that's all we were talking about for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like everybody thought it was true, and that was a rumor that was started like in the 90s.
Oh yeah, because
So
it was when I was a kid when he first came out. But even then, you think about it, if anyone can suck his own dick, he probably isn't
That's
leaving
fucking-
the house that
yeah,
often.
no,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fucking
Like,
sick. I think
why
he
would
said
you-
that in an interview. Like, bro, if I could do that, I would not be in this interview right now.
yeah,
But
never leave
But
the
yeah,
house.
Hot Topic was fucking sick. Like the gates and shit. Like even like looking back now, obviously you have the nostalgia filter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like if a store looked like that now, I would still think it was sick as a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. Like the gates, the aesthetic was on par, and it was like I think Hot Topic gets a lot of fucking hate, obviously, but dude, you know what I mean? It was a lot of people that aren't in America didn't even know that America had like a fucking mall chain that was basically for alternative kids.
Yeah,
I
all
think it's sick.
lifestyle.
And it's sick. It's like people that hate on that shit are fucking idiots because it helps people get into even like Warped Tour. Like when people are like, oh, fuck Asking Alexandria or blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's how I got into all of this. Like Bring Me the Horizon, Asking Alexandria, Attack, like all those bands introduced me into fucking Martyr AD and like all these other things.
because you then go down rabbit holes and
Exactly.
yeah.
And like, so basically like you would go to Warped Tour. Well, actually, somehow like one of my first shows was like fucking Terror and shit, bringing back the Kids Fest. I don't know how. I was into skating, and then I went to Rocket Town, and then Rocket Town let me be their photographer, and then one of my first shows was literally like Terror and fucking like I think Remembering Never and a bunch of fucking sick bands, like Shah Hulad and shit, like literally the craziest first show, and I was like 12, 13, like holy shit, this is fucking crazy, because I was used to Warped Tour culture. But yeah, like that shit, it gets you into, because you go to Warped Tour, and then you find the smaller bands in your area, you go to local shows, you go from local shows, local like scene core shows to maybe hardcore shows, then you go to like the deathcore shows, and then you go to the fucking black metal fucking shows or the punk shows. Like you go through this whole fucking stratosphere of stuff, and then you find stuff like I found like goth through fucking just going to like shows at like Churchill's and shit, and then going to fucking goth nights. And now like that's like basically the subculture that I align with most. So it's like that's what's cool about this whole alternative thing, because it's when you dive deeper and deeper, you just find exactly who you are, and then you stick to it. Like now I'm gonna be fucking stuck going to goth nights for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but it's also, that's another thing too. Like we were talking about, like the gatekeeping and thing like that.
Yeah.
Because it's frowned upon so much right now that like, yeah, people are allowed to like and talk about what they like, whereas before it could have been a little more stifled and everything. You brought up one of my favorite bands who was from your area down there, Remembering Never. Were you big into them growing up, or?
I wasn't into them growing. I'm not gonna pretend like I was fucking jocking Remembering Never, but they're fucking sick. Like obviously they're fucking sick as fuck. We actually played a show with them not that long ago. Dude, and they were talking to us like they were like, that show was actually crazy because like the basis of A Day to Remember was there too, and they were all just like talking like, oh, like your band is fucking sick or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck, like dude, this is cool as fuck. And I feel like a lot of bands back in the day, like even like senior bands like Attila and stuff, like they give us creds and shit, and it's sick as fuck. It's like, I don't know, the gatekeeping stuff is so fucking stupid. I've always thought that shit was so stupid, and back in the day it was a really big thing. Like at the goth nights, if you weren't dressed goth, you could not get in. If at the hardcore shows, I'm pretty sure like you would get your ass beat. From what I fucking heard about, like
you definitely would get moshed on.
Yeah, like Miami hardcore, like in 2000 was like fucking the most violent shit ever. So
I never got that. I never got the violence with the dancing. I mean, I get the dancing, but I never got the crowd killing, and that's something that I always fucking hated.
I like moshing. I think moshing hard is cool, but I think like targeting people. Yeah. I don't think crowd killing is bad. Just because dude,
crowd walking, crowd killing. I couldn't stand either of those growing up, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it fucking sucks. It hurts, but it's cool. It looks cool, so I don't care. But I think targeting is lame. But everything else is fine. So I'm in disagreement because I think, I don't know, whenever I see like people like, obviously there's an extent. Like if you're just fucking being an idiot, then obviously it looks lame. You have to be good at moshing. That's another conversation. Like you have to be, if you suck at moshing, then you look stupid.
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing. Like people moshing bad is like a whole other thing.
It's a whole another YouTube channel.
Yeah. That could be a fucking hour conversation in itself.
So let's talk about like the band currently. I know we got off a little off track, but whatever. That's what this is all about, dude. We're finding out about you and connecting you with your fan base and all that good stuff. But so how do I ask this? I know you guys at one point were a 4-piece, but it kind of seems now that you guys are like a 2-piece.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like an interesting thing to go into. Basically, the band, we've had like woe is me level fucking lineup changes. But the problem and the thing that I always tell people is if you didn't write any music in the band, you were never in the band. And I'm going to completely stand by that shit. Like if you didn't write anything in the band, you weren't in the fucking band. You didn't do anything. So everything before Kyler joined, like all those members were just fill-in members. There was nobody that, like we were just trying to get people to play in the band because we had nobody. It was like we wanted to be a band, but nobody was like, it was just like we had to just get people from other genres that didn't even know anything about our genre and just make them play in the band. So it was basically just me and Jeff and then it was me and Jeff and Kyler. And those were like the only people that wrote in the band and still are the only
and
people.
Kyler's the bass player?
Kyler does vocals now.
Yeah, because I knew the bass player took over for
He
vocals,
was the bass player.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was the bass player. But he plays guitar and he writes and he does lyrics and everything. So I say nowadays, like, so we have Alex plays drums for us. He's super fucking sick. Nick plays bass for us. He's super fucking sick. And these are people that have been like doing fill-ins and stuff with us for years now. So it's not like they're new. But we're claiming as a 2-piece because it's like me and Kyler are the ones that write. So it's like an interesting thing that we're like a 2-piece, but I think it's the future of bands is it's like You know what I mean? Like mostly two people write all the music,
Yeah.
so those should be the two people that get the credit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
What about is that kind of is that God, what was I gonna ask? The mailman just walked up and I saw him in my peripheral and he kind of like ruined my train of thought. So
Yeah.
um yeah, does that like because you produce music, so like do you just write a lot, like you and Kyler write a lot and then
Okay.
program
So
drums and stuff like that, or does the drummer?
yeah. Okay. So first thing, like we were like fake bass, fake drums for Pressure. Like I was writing everything, like MIDI as fuck. This new record, the dude from Chamber actually played drums, but I wrote the MIDI drums, and they're basically the same. He just played drums, so it sounded real.
Right.
But yeah, no, like I'm really into writing. I write for I've written for like Poor Stacy, who's a rap rock star type character, and actually hit on like some rock charts on SoundCloud and stuff, like number one. So I do a lot of writing in my own time. That's not Bloodbather stuff. Um, and for writing Bloodbather, it's usually just like um, Kyler will send me an idea, and I'll just flesh it out on
Mm-hmm.
my own.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, because what do you use to produce? What DAW do you use?
I use Logic. Yeah, I have
Interesting.
like that's probably why I have this fucking nice microphone and a cloud lifter and stuff because I produce. But yeah, I use Logic.
Oh, I thought you would stream like video games. You know what I mean? That's the
Oh
cool
fuck
thing to
no, dude.
nowadays.
Hell no. No, now everybody's gonna think I'm a fucking gamer. Okay, all I play is RuneScape. That's the only
That's
thing I
why. That's why you have the light in the background, the blue light. You know,
Yeah,
it casts
I
the
look like
ambience.
maybe I was actually gonna post on Twitter like y'all podcasters need to put me on because I'm gonna have really good audio and video and like come on put me on.
Yeah,
But
that's half the battle right there.
yeah, audio is half the battle of video. But yeah, no. So I use Logic. I use like obviously like Contact and a bunch of plugins and stuff.
Cool. I never
Room
got into it.
sound and all that shit.
I never got into that one. I used a lot more when I was producing because I produce electronic music as well. I don't know if you produce
That's sick.
electronic music, but yeah, I do like that, and I used Ableton for the most part. But
Ableton is sick.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you have like $1,000 to fucking waste,
Okay, but who the fuck is? Okay, we're not. I'm not gonna
I
say
had
that.
to. I know. I pirated it for a while, but then I had to buy it, so it was like a whole fucking thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was garbage. So I'd like to understand better Jeff leaving the band because
Okay.
he leaves the band, but you guys are still like tight, and he still is like the biggest fan of Bloodbather, obviously. So like,
Yeah.
what was the reason for him departing and everything like that?
It was just like I don't know. Touring is fucking hard, and it just I don't know. It was just it's like a lot of things where it's just like being in a band doesn't make you enough money, and like
100%.
touring is hard, and you know it was just like it was one of those things where it was just like I don't even know. It wasn't even like a big deal how people were like trying to make it like they were trying to make it look like fucking we hated Jeff and all this shit, and it was like, dude, what the fuck, like. I don't know. It was fucking stupid, but it's like he literally is, dude. I FaceTime Jeff like every single fucking day.
No,
That's
yeah,
my
and
best
you
fucking
can
friend.
definitely because I followed him
Yeah,
on Twitter before every other you and everyone else in the band,
yeah,
but it seemed like because he left what like a year ago maybe, right?
yeah,
So it seemed like in that time frame he was always saying like how the band was fucking sicker than any other band, and you know blah
yeah.
blah blah,
Cause
and
at,
his vocals. Keller's vocals are fucking sick and this, that, the other.
yeah,
So it seemed like he was very reciprocative of the band and supportive of it, but just not in the band. And he would always be defending it on Twitter.
yeah. Because a lot of people, this is the problem was like he went ghost for a while, but he was dealing with his shit. You know what I mean? Like the internet. I think a lot of people don't realize that the internet is not reality. Like
What?
there's there's a world outside of the internet, and
Outside?
sometimes people have jobs and they have life and they wanted to fucking take a break from this dramatic fucking thing. But yeah, like he took a break and everybody was like trying to say like, oh, like bro, people were trying to say like he did something wrong and like he got fucking outed because that's like the culture nowadays. Like, oh,
Cancel
everybody's
culture,
fucking
yeah.
canceled. But yeah, no, it was just fucking stupid. Like he just took a break and like not his break wasn't stupid. I'm saying people outing,
Mm-hmm.
trying to out him for like nothing. But yeah, no, it was just like people try to say like they try to be on Jeff's side and they're like, oh fuck Bloodbather, I only like Bloodbather when you were in the band, and Jeff is just like, dude, what? Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Jeff is fucking awesome. I love Jeff. And Jeff supports me and I support Jeff, and I don't know what he wants to do with the rest of his like life, if he wants to go back in music or something, but I'm always down. I mean, he was talking about like rapping again because like we were doing some rap stuff, and like I'll record him always. Like, dude, that's my best friend. So yeah, no, I hope he does whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I mean? He's like one of the biggest supporters of music in South Florida. He would book like the smallest shows of the bands that nobody wanted to book. Like, dude, Jeff is a real one, and he's actually still straight edge, which is a fucking a mind blow. Because nobody in fucking South Florida is straight edge anymore.
Yeah, if you're over 21, usually a lot of people are straight edge till about 21, and then they drop
he's 24 and he's made it till 24. So.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll kind of wrap up now. But what are some of the what are your final thoughts in like groups or bands that other people should check out, whether they're within your same genre or lane or anything like that? Like, what are you listening to? What should we listen to? And, just some final thoughts.
What I listen to, honestly, I listen to a lot of fucking Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, all that stuff.
Did you like the new Marilyn Manson album?
So fucking good.
Really?
Honestly.
I haven't heard it yet, but okay.
I liked it.
What's your time out? I'm gonna interrupt you now. We'll hold my question for another couple minutes. But now that we're talking about Marilyn Manson, what are your Marilyn Manson albums that you enjoy? Like, what is your favorite one?
So the triptych, which is Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals, and Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Those are my favorites.
Cool. Okay.
If I was gonna put those are obviously the top three. So if I was gonna put them in the top three, like I would say top one Marilyn Manson album, which might be controversial, is Mechanical Animals in my opinion.
That's what I think too. Okay.
It's such a fucking good album, and just I don't think people give him credit. That is like one of the most beautiful sounding records I've ever heard. Like it's so diverse, and it's so Bowie, and it's so fucking. I love that album. So that is my top Manson album. Right under is Antichrist Superstar.
That's probably gonna be mine too.
Yeah, and then right under that is Hollywood.
Cool.
Then I would rate below that. I would put like Golden Age of Grotesque. Then I would put Portrait of American Family. I don't like the weird emo phase that he had. All those records suck. Pale Emperor was really cool. Heaven Upside Down, or I don't know what the fuck the last one. That was okay. But this album is really, really good. I think it has some call to like Mechanical Animals in like Don't Chase the Dead is such a fucking good. I've been listening to that song nonstop. Like, it is so fucking. It's just beautiful, and it just has that like Manson like swag that he has, where it's just like it's so the transitions are so fucking. I don't know. Oh shit! Someone's fucking.
That wasn't Soldier Boy.
Fuck, man. No, it's because it opened it up on my fucking computer.
Yeah, your video froze.
No, my fucking ringtone is Soldier Boy. We're bringing that back. We're bringing back ringtones.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But yeah, no. So those are my top Manson albums. And yeah, the new record, it gives my thumb of approval or whatever. Like Broken Needle and Don't Chase the Dead or whatever the fuck. Super fucking good songs.
Did you happen to listen to the new Deftones? Since we're talking about new albums, have you listened to the new Deftones album that came out this week?
I actually haven't listened to it yet. Is my fucking video paused?
It is, but I just kind of figured go with it since we're wrapping up.
Oh yeah, wait. Fuck. Let me check. No, I don't think it's. I think it's fucked. I think I'm gone forever.
That's cool. Right. Yeah, that's cool. We're at the very tail end here, so they've seen you enough for about an hour. But yeah. So anyway, cut to my last question. Any final words and bands that we should check out or that you're into?
Okay, so. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to fix this. I look so stupid right there. So fuck. Like put it a fucking emoji over my face. I look so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay. No, we're gonna let it slide.
Put the cat smiling emoji. That's my favorite fucking. The cat being like, yeah. That's my favorite fucking emoji.
Hard eyes.
Put that right over my face. Favorite. So new bands to check out: See You Space Cowboy, 100%. Static Dress, 100%. Cauldron, 100%. Loathe.
Yeah.
Fucking. there's so many fucking good bands, and I really hope like after this pandemic, people still show support for these smaller bands that are upcoming. Rappers, like there's so many fucking rappers that are good. I can't even dive into like how many good fucking rappers there are. Free Lil Jitman, he's from fucking South Florida actually. Uh, j- just I don't know. There's so many fucking bands, and they're all really good and all representing what they want to represent. So, um, yeah, I could go on forever, but I would say my tops are like Static Dress, um, Cauldron is fucking sick. Um, See You Space Cowboys, so sick. If I Die First, that shit is fucking so sick. I play bass actually in a band called L'Exquisite Dolor, and they sound like basically like My Chem and Used, and I love that shit. And they're fucking sick. They're gonna be next up. I'm gonna make sure. And yeah, no, just I don't know. Fucking listen to local music because it. If you don't, we're not gonna be here. So please do it.
Not only that, I think the underground is where the best music is at because
That's where
obviously,
because it's just gonna be the most pure music,
yeah,
and as you could tell by like Bloodbather, like I'm just making exactly what I liked as a kid, and you know what I mean? It's gonna be exactly on par to whatever the fuck they like. So local music is where it's at. You know what I mean? Support your local fucking scene.
yeah, that's hella cool. It's really cool to have you on. And yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you so
we
much.
we
Appreciate it.
definitely will kind of link up again once, hopefully more more intimate and in-person interview, and maybe we'll have
Yeah.
you and another member or the guys on or whatever. But
Could be fucking sick. Could be sick.
it would be actually, yeah.
Would
So
be. I mean, I'm always down. I'm fucking open to anything. I don't. You know what I mean?
no problem. Yeah. Well, I will let you get back to your Twitch streaming of RuneScape,
Oh my
and
God, fuck. My RuneScape twitching. I'm fucking about to go on RuneScape and play with fucking Zezima.
yeah, you can do that, collect the gold, and do all the other shit. But yeah. So thanks for coming on, man. All the best, because I know you guys some the EP coming up, so all the best for that. And
Yeah,
yeah,
check out Silence on Rise Records. I don't know when the fuck this is coming out, but it comes out October 9th.
yeah. So
It
it should.
might have already came out this
No, it won't
episode.
come out, but October 9th, yeah, because I think
Okay,
we'll
so yeah,
probably put this
October
out
9th.
next week. So you'll have like 9 days to kind of listen to the 3 songs, and then
Yeah,
after that, you can listen to the full EP.
the full awesome EP, which has the best artwork ever, in
Nice.
my opinion. It's looks fucking sick.
All right, Doc. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and I'll cut you loose, and we
I'm
appreciate
throwing
it,
up a
man.
peace sign, but you can't fucking see it.
I can just overlay an
Yeah, just
emoji.
the cat. Okay, I'm serious with the cat. The cat emoji, the fucking he's smirking. That is my favorite emoji ever, and I just put it over my face. It's so sick.
Yeah, but you're making me edit now. See, now it's like a whole nother
I'm
step to it.
I'm
I
sorry.
gotta edit it and everything.
I'll fucking send it to you. I'll send you the PNG.
All right, man. It was good talking to you. We'll catch up another time, and best of luck. Oh, wow. You made it through the entire episode and you're still here watching? Well, that must mean you really dig the show. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and throw us a like. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that alert bell so you never miss an episode. You seem to like these episodes so much. Why don't you check out last week's? Or you can check out the playlist, whichever one you want. Yeah.